So, we are still on the public beta version of the game, which means some of the features that you're about to see might not come to life the same way as they are currently on the public beta, and there might of course still be some bugs. Hi Hidden Away, hi Azuro, very nice to see you. So, today's daily challenge looks interesting. We have the exiled Hellhorned as well as the exiled Melting Remnant. So we have Shardtail Queen, Queen's Impling and Primitive Mold. Now, however, Primitive Mold won't be of much use because there is permadeath on this challenge. We have 2 for 1, each time you draft a card, gain a second copy, and Broken Valve, start with Volatile Gorge. Now imagine if we had the Drex instead of the Primitive Mold, Queen Simpling and Drex with permadeath. We could get our deck so small. We could literally clear everything except for the champion that's in our deck by default. That would be pretty interesting. But that's not gonna be the case. We still have these primitive molds, which are gonna be somewhat hard to use. We can only use them to reform the champion, our Shardtail Queen, but we'll see what we can make of this. So yeah. Oh, I see Hidden Away has already played the challenge and with a pretty impressive score. So, let's jump in and see what we get for today. Important work. Okay, we're starting out strong. 2 molded is a bit unfortunate. Hidden Passage, very nice to see. Yeah, we have 2 for 1 and Volatile Gorge as well as permadeath, so we'll have to see. Let's take a look at what upgrade paths are available for us today. Oh, the royalty path has been changed. I'm assuming there have been other changes as well. I think her stats were a bit different before. Actually, I think this is a good chance to take a look at the patch notes. What has been changed? Okay, there have been quite a few changes. So let's look at these the champion changes first. Shardtail Queen stats have been adjusted. Most path damage was increased and health was reduced. Makes sense, she's kind of a backliner anyways. Increased rally damage gain on Shardtail Queen's royalty path. In the next update we plan to make it so morsels do not trigger ally. That makes sense, I guess. The Rally Seraph was very punishing to morsels. Wilton and Stormlaw path now gives less health overall at all levels. Okay. Cold Channel path for Soulguard now triggers on resolve instead of action. This means it will never trigger during relentless combat. Due to that reduction in power, we buffed it a bit and it now applies +1 stack at all levels, and Soulguard has slightly more HP. Yeah. Not a huge fan of this, but as far as I know, it has already been changed in the next update. Yeah, it did. It has. Little Fate's Eternal Path now gives a flat +5 health on death at all levels to make it easier to trigger more times at higher levels. Reduce Little Fate's Little Icarus power gain at 2nd and 3rd levels. Okay. Updated Seraph the Patient. The goal with this change is to make it less narrow and less reliant on triggers to be a threat. Base attack increased from 10 to 15, but rally trigger attack bonus was reduced from 5 to 2. It now has an incount trigger which gives it an attack increase of +1. So it not only benefits from units being played, but also spells being played at a lesser degree. Adjusted Seraph the Patient's Battle, early waves are a bit easier. Attackers are now instead the ones that get a bonus on Slay and made a few other tweaks. Attackers are now instead the ones that get a bonus on Slay. So there are now Shade Wings in the fight, is what I get from that. Not sure, we'll have to see. Melee weakness now decays at the end of turn regardless of if a unit was hit in combat. Not sure if I like that. The melee weakness was an interesting challenge. Metalos Sins all say she attacks before Relentless. Yeah, that makes sense. Arcus Traps now say your own unit instead of enemy unit. That makes sense, the wording was a bit weird. The Arcus Trap with Harvest now has a unique name, Hellhorned Harvest, to help call out that it only triggers when the player's unit die. That makes sense, it was a bit weird to have Harvest, but not trigger on the winged, the enemies dying. Gameplay redesigned Gnarled Root, now it gives +1 attack for each stack of spikes. That's interesting. Very much like that. The old Gnarled Root was pretty unexciting. A bunch of bug fixes, art, audio, text. Let's go to some more balance changes here on the newest patch. We have Wildenton has reduced base attack from 10 to 5, increased attack scaling on the Predator path so that there is no net change. Increased attack scaling on the Strangler path so that level 2 and 3 are higher than before. Overall result should be that following the Strangler path should be more rewarding. That makes a lot of sense. That was something I was complaining about yesterday. That the Strangler path, the first one is very good and the later ones feel kind of useless. Maybe that changes things. Soulguard's Cold Channel path now applies Frostbite on Revenge and has had the numbers reduced back to 1, 2, 3 per level respectively. Frostbite on Revenge is really powerful. That's even more powerful than on Act. Except Soulguard now has to be in the front. You can't have him be in the back. And that does limit his power somewhat. But if you can get the nice defense from like an armor totem or something like that, then he should be even more powerful than he was before. Increased intent on death's Ember cost 0 to 2. Wow, that seems extreme. Just from 0 to 2. Huh. Seems like it has been really crazy, but I'm a bit surprised. I would have expected the cost to go up by 1 maybe. By 2 is a bit much, in my opinion. Monsters no longer trigger ally, makes sense. We saw that in the Shardtail Queen change. Added leave option to Concealed Caverns event with Smite, etc. I don't know what this is about. Daedalus and Fel are now in the boss rotation. Oh, okay. Seraph is still set to the new version only for additional feedback. Okay. Well, let's jump back in the challenge. So, yeah, the Shardtail Queen has actually been changed then by quite a bit, even. Some caverns didn't give you the option to leave. Oh, really? Okay. We have, so let's look at the bosses again. Talos attacks quickly using powerful blows to knock back. So knock back Talos. And we have Fel with armor. And obviously the usual Seraph the Patient. Okay. I think with permadeath, the Imperate might be the way to go to generate more imps. So we don't have to have imps in our deck, and that's a bit awkward. So we can make better use of important work as well. That kind of makes sense to me. Rally will pretty quickly become pretty worthless. Also, wasn't I in this screen before? You can leave the upgrade screen by going back to the main menu apparently, which would allow you to look at the upgrade and then pick the relic. Yeah, we wanna go with Imperate no matter what. Friendly units enter with Rage 3, that's very nice with the imps. So let's go ahead. Aggressive amulet for a unit draft? Sure. These guys are a bit annoying. Oh, I kind of forgot about the volatile gauge. Ah, that makes things a bit more difficult. Let's play out the Shardtail Queen on this floor. So many reform cards in this deck. We just spam Queen's Implings on this floor. Collector already dies. Do I want one more Queen's Impling? Then they don't both die, but we won't have that many more to play out anyway, so that's okay. Another Impling on the bottom floor. We can't really make use of stewards. We could ascend one of these guys. I'll just play a steward on the top. Question is, do I want to play important work here? Probably not. Do I want to purge more train stewards? Maybe. We could ascend the boss, but doesn't look like we have the kill yet. So if we just ascend the boss and then play a train steward, or perhaps play the important work, Queen's Impling and the train steward. Train steward will block 2 hits, Queen's Impling another 1. And then Shardtail Queen would survive 2 more hits. So it would be 5 hits from the Shardtail Queen alone. That should be enough. Do we have the Ember to do that? No, because the train steward costs 3. We can't play a train steward. What's left in our deck? Hidden Passage. That doesn't help. I might help. No. No, it won't. So with 2 Queen's Impling instead, we have 4 hits against the boss, which is 80 damage. That's not gonna be enough. The Queen's Impling also deals 10 plus another 7, so another 17. So that's 97 damage, still not enough. No, I can't use Molded in permadeath. The units immediately get purged, they never go... Wait. Why do I have Queen's Implings in the consume pile? What? The ones that get generated by the Shardtail Queens don't have purge? Or... Well, that makes things a bit easier. Because 2 Queen's Implings will be enough. So we just ascend you and then primitive mold back an Impling. that should be the kill. Okay. Well, that makes all these reform cards a lot more useful. I certainly did not think that's how it was gonna work. But I'm okay with it. So, what's left in our deck after this first fight? No Queen Simplings, 3 Train Stewards are left. Do we wanna pick 2 Fledgling Imps? They will be gone pretty soon, but maybe we find Endless for them. For one of them at least. Fortify can work out decently. Ritual of Battle. No, Fortify's bad with the Volatile Gorge. Let's take the Rituals. And these look all pretty terrible. We could pick up the Entombed Explosives, just use them and then they're gone. That's okay. That might be useful for the next fight. Let's pick them up. And now we need to think about what unit we wanna have. Out of these, maybe none. Lady of the House is very hard to use with permadeath. We can't really reform her. Yeah. Horned Warrior, we would need a front line for them to hide behind. Feel like I'm going to the Merchant of Steel and Hellhorned banner. I can always pick a unit there. It's pretty easy to imagine there might be something better. Do we though? No, I think we go to the Merchant of Magic. That makes much more sense. Remnant banner. Wickless Tycoon and Paraffin Thug are both interesting. Honestly like the Tycoon. I also like the Thug. They're both pretty nice. Phew. We do have the Shardtail Queen potentially feeding harvests. The problem is that we currently lack space to make great use of it. Paraffin Thug. It's gonna be hard to keep alive. Still think I want that one over the Tycoon. We don't have anything that benefits from the spell magic power. Which cards do I want to play the most? Molded are okay now that we can bring back these imps. I guess we upgrade the Ritual of Battle. Do we reroll? There's nothing to consume, remove, nothing to put magic power on. I think we do reroll. Permafrost, not really what I'm looking for. Let's buy another cost reduction. For the other Ritual of Battle? No, for the same one. That is generally a bit worse, but I might upgrade the other one with double stack, and then the cost reduction becomes useless because we have the Volatile Gorge and they interact in a weird way. Okay. Can we set up the bottom floor? Yeah, easily with the Entombed Explosive. That means we're not gonna play... No, we have a cheaper Paraffin Thug as well. We could even play the Paraffin Thug right here to get the kill on the Trusted Priest. I am planning on losing this Paraffin Thug pretty soon. So it's fine to have him there. Honestly, I would prefer not to lose it, but if we do, it's okay. I think the Ritual of Battle goes on the Queen. We can just entomb the explosive in front and ascend this guy, but that means we have no way of killing the Collector, which is bad. We should kill the Collector. That's more gold than the Slay. Is there another way? There is not. There's no way to save the Paraffin Thug and get the Collector at the same time. At least I do not see a way. Now we need to build a wall down here. Although that should be pretty easy. We can just use these imps. We don't need a lot of defense. With this guy having spikes though, and there being a backline, that's a bit annoying. None of our imps have died yet, so we can count on reform. Seeing how we win this. That sucks. We are not gonna get the bottom floor kill this time around. No reform in the next hand either. These two kill the deal damage to the train steward. Yeah, that should get us the kill. That's fine. Lost a few points here because we didn't manage to get the bottom floor kill. Molding Imp, Welder Helper. I wouldn't mind a Welder Helper for now. Seems actually pretty useful. Craft, Dripfall, Hello Drippings. Is Dripfall something we're interested in? Not really. We'd rather ascend than descend. Pretty similar units than last time, and I'm still not interested in them. I do want to pick up a unit, but well, we have the Paraffin Thugs for now. Multi-strike. While I would like multi-strike on the Paraffin Thug, might be hard to keep it alive, especially against this version of Talos. Maybe we can find Endless. Endless Welder Helper is a good way of keeping a Paraffin Thug alive. And now that we have Endless, I also wanted to have Burnout, so we can play it in the back and it still dies. Wickless Baron is tempting. This reminds me a lot of our Covenant 25 deck we had yesterday. A bit less powerful. Wickless Baron. Maybe. Maybe that's actually a good thing. We currently do not have great scaling, but scaling will become better once we upgrade the Shardtail Queen to generate fledgling imps. That helps quite a bit. I will take the Wickless Baron for now. Not 100% happy with it, but... Ooh! I don't think we can master cards in daily challenge, so it's not auto pick the holiest shield. Although it might very well be the shield, because defense is what we are currently lacking. Although AoE clear is also a problem and the sword could help with that. Fine, it's the sword. I think because we have no AoE clear at all, and it's not easy to pick some up, it might be worth. So units enter with armor, and her attacks knock our units back. How will my bottom floor look? Can Paraffin Duck be on the second floor? Probably not because of Talos. We can have Paraffin Duck on the bottom floor. Shardtail Queen in front with Welder Helper buffing her. Okay. I am also gonna sack this Welder Helper to make space. It gives us the kill on these two guys at least. I'm hoping to find my endless Welder Helper very soon, and there we go. So Talos will knock the Shardtail Queen back. That's actually okay because we have the Welder Helper giving us the defense we want. Ugh, so expensive. But we need that additional defense. Okay, Talos knocking the Paraffin Duck to the back. That's not bad. Makes things a bit safer. And we do already have the kill here. And we should have it with the Paraffin Duck. 20... yeah, definitely. Okay, that worked out. Intent on death. One Hornstorm Remnant Pact. Well, we have no extinguishers. Remnant Pact is pretty okay. Works pretty well with the imps. If we take... that should probably be one Hornstorm though. The Volatile Gorge, it has to be. Demon Fiend? No. I think we're okay on units. And we want capacity. We already have plenty of draw. And we need the extra capacity to be able to fit these units on the floor. Do we want spell upgrades and removals? I mean, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's just... yes, we do. No question about that. Yeah, we wanna get these Fleshling Imps. That's really gonna be a big part of our scaling. Was hoping for double stack here. Now it's unlikely I'm gonna double stack Ritual of Battle because double stacks need to go on the one-horn storms instead. So let's cost reuse the Ritual of Battle as well, the other one. Reroll, yeah, we can't use. Well, we could use it. That might actually not be bad. I think that's worth. There we go, double stack for a one-horn storm. Cost reduce the Ritual of Battle again. Could also cost reduce a Molder, but that seems less important because the only thing we can reform are the fledgling imps from the Shorttail Queen. Let's also get rid of these primitive molds. And these are strictly worse than the molded, but not by much. I could also buy another Purge, and I think I will. We get stuck with those reform cards in hand a bit too often. Mark of Invasion, okay. How do we set this up? Paraffin Thug costing 3 is a problem. We have 7 damage coming in here. We can tank that with the Shorttail Queen and have a Paraffin Thug behind her. She deals 40 and the Paraffin Thug gets 2 slays. But then we just take all this damage. We could also set up on the top floor, do a similar thing. And then we will get these 3 killed, but then we have 7 units on the same floor next turn. And the only way to clear that up would be to use the sword, which might be worth it. So if we ignore these top lines, we'll take 14 damage. That's 28% points lost. But there's no guarantee we get to prevent. Well, we draw 8 of these 9 cards that are left in the deck. So there's pretty much a guarantee we get to clear. But we can also set up this bottom floor and then clear the top floor with the sword. That makes us take 12 damage. I think that's actually the ideal play right now. I do want the Paraffin Thug out. Those slays are very valuable. So we do want to give her some armor and then use an imp to block. Weakless Baron is the cheapest way of dealing with the collector. We do need to play the Most Blessed Sword, but we don't necessarily need to pay Ember for it. Do I want that imp to have extra armor? No. I wanted him to stay alive at low health. How are we taking 1 damage? Oh yeah, because of the clip conduit. That's okay. Having the imp stay alive at 1 health is actually fine. Actually, even better would be to ascend the imp. Get it out of the way. And we use the sword for some extra score here. Play the Welder Helper, Ritual of Battle, one Horned Tome, and a Fledgling Imp in front. We just slay everyone for gold. Eh. That's fine. Cause the ritual is free. Kinda wanna burn out some units from this deck now. So if I have the chance to get rid of a Train Steward or anything, I will take it. Like this, for example. That works. Inflame branding right, impressive. Impressive should be just fine here. It's low cost, but how much am I willing to pay to sacrifice an imp for 50 damage? Not that much, to be honest. Maybe we wanna get some more armor. Inflame is pretty solid. Fatal Melting isn't bad, that's some AoE. Now we don't have our sword any longer, so maybe we want something like that. But the downside is that we can never play it on the first turn, almost never. Which sometimes might be important. We're up against Armorfell. AoE might be very valuable there. I'll take it. Unit upgrades. I'm not sure if I even want these Wickless Barons anymore. So I don't really want to upgrade them that much. The Paraffin Thug is just doing work. Let's go to the right side instead. Scorched Steel can be annoying with getting some imps killed, but it can also be helpful in blocking some extra damage. I think we'll take it. We could hold over important work. The problem with that is that it's random cost, so it's not as good. Holdover Enflame. Isn't holdover important work still just better than holdover Enflame with the cost reduction? I wish I could put a cost reduction on important work. I think I still want to hold over on important work, to be honest. That's still just good. It's cost reduced one of the Fatal Meltings, so it's a bit easier to play. And I think I want to have Consume on the other one. Magic Power on the cost reduced one, so we can actually play it on the first turn if needed. And then we cost reduce an Enflame. Hidden Passage doesn't seem that important right now. Although we could certainly use it in trying to get flying boss kills. Spikes. How do we deal with spikes and sweep in this deck? How do we keep our Paraffin Thug alive? Most importantly. Enflames might not be enough. Having him in front and giving him armor might be what we do. The Shardtail Queen might die, but that's fine. Shardtail Queen can die. We need to generate a lot of armor on them. I am not sure. I think I do want the One-Horn Stones up. We can also block some hits with imps. So we should be able to get a bunch of armor on him. And I think this is a good opportunity to get some Wickless Barons out of the deck. Maybe not yet. I think we can still wait. No, actually, I do wanna play the Wickless Baron. Get it to die. Welder Helper, expensive this turn. That's... I don't like to see that. We need to generate as much armor as we possibly can. And also block damage whenever we have the chance to. We literally cannot afford to let the Paraffin Thug die at this stage in the game. We are generating more armor than we take damage every turn, so that's pretty much ideal. And we can also use this fight very well to purge some of the weaker units. Which I'm also very happy about. Fletchling Imp, no room. Are we just okay here? Yeah, we kill in the first round. Just defend you and win. Should have played the Wickless Baron first to get rid of it. But there will be another chance for that. Lightstone Casing. These Ritual of Battles are pretty decent upgrade targets. I'll take it. 25 gold is not gonna make a huge difference. Imp in a box. Yes. Although at a random cost. Maybe I was a bit too hasty. Subsuming Blade maybe? No. I don't think I want that. Definitely want to look for Ashes of the Fallen here. Fate's First Play. Friendly units gain Rage 3 whenever they lose a stack of Burnout. We don't use Burnout. Railhammer is nice. Might make the imps a bit too tanky with Railhammer and Scorched Steel. Still like it. Firestone Housing is also interesting. But there will only be one more Merchant of Steel, so it's not gonna be that important. I think I skip that. How about these consume things? We have a few consume spells, not that many, actually quite a few. I don't think I need them. They are a bit too expensive for what they do. They don't provide that much benefit to us. Kind of regretting these imps in a box. Not sure if I really want them. I am gonna purge one of the molded. I think I'm gonna keep one just in case. And let's get an imp in a box out as well. I was really hoping for Ashes of the Fallen here, but we can't always have Ashes of the Fallen when we're playing imps, right? I think we want to set up the second floor. Do we? Fell's right there, right? Is there right now? That's okay. I still like the idea of setting up here. Wickless Baron on the bottom, just to let him die. Then our goal is to get some multi-strike on you. Together with some rage. And some more rage, and then we ascend Fell. For a decent hit on her. And we kept the imp alive, which is actually okay. This turn is just a setup turn. Next turn we want to be able to hit Fell, so I am gonna remove count these guys. Because otherwise they will be in front here. I don't think we play Welder Helper this turn. I think we have enough armor now. We wanna do other stuff. Like play this one Hornstorm. And gain some more rage. So we can kill Fell next turn. With an ascent. Possibly. There's an ascent. Currently we need a hit on each of those, so we have 3 hits of 140 remaining, which is enough for a kill. That's 420 damage. Yeah, nice. Tons of damage. And tons of gold. Dark Deal, last stand. Gotta be last stand, right? Should be generating a lot of rage. Think we need Ember now. We have the capacity we need. Now we need more Ember to be able to actually generate, to actually play out all these cards. Removal, dupe, caverns, or spell upgrades. I still like spell upgrades a lot. Double stack, consume removal, both of these could be amazing. It's still one Hornstorm. Cost reductions on the Enflames. Spread them out. Don't think I want another Search Stone. No, maybe I do. These Fatal Meltings are really useful, and I'm okay with just playing them once and then having them gone. Permafrost on an Ascent could be good, but I don't think I need it. Do we go with the final Imperate upgrade, Fledgling Imp and Welder Helper every turn? We already have the Endless Welder Helper is the thing. Kill all imp units, deal 20 damage per imp to enemy units. So that clears up the imp units at the end of the turn. That's honestly not bad. I don't care that much about more Welder Helpers. But the stats are probably better on the Imperate. I'll take the Imperialist. Non-boss enemy units enter with spikes. Now I kinda care about the Welder Helpers. Well, we should be fine anyways. We have a lot of armor generation. And we wanna set up the second floor. These purifiers, we might have to kill them with fatal meltings and stuff. I think this is a good time for Imp in a box. Should be. Fledgling Imp is a nice pickup. We can just ascend you. Get rid of you instead of using fatal melting. Benefit is we gain 20 gold. And then hit that guy with fatal melting. Another benefit, the fledgling imp dies. How does the fledgling imp die? We don't gain gold. Because fledgling imp takes 3 and then takes... Oh, the fledgling imp gets sacrificed. I forgot about the imperialist path we took. We do want to gain armor. Important work being 3 cost sucks. What do we actually want to do here? Fledgling imp always happens, but I think we want to do Welder Helper as well. And fledgling imp. This is 12 rage. Enflame and Ritual of Battle is 14 rage and some armor. So that should always be the better option here. And we can kill this guy with fatal melting. I do care about the gold from the Thug, but even more than that, I care about this fight going well. Yeah, we have enough offensive power now. Okay, it rolled a 1 cost. That's nice to see. We mostly care about armor at this point. Rolled a 3. Don't like that. I guess that means we skip Welder Helper this time. Display the self-mutilation. We have a lot of damage to spare, so we could ascend one of these guys. Yeah. Might as well. This is fine. Hidden Passage, last card. That guarantees we can ascend the boss immediately. And we win. On the first turn. We deal 3000 damage. Pyre Jumper is nice, important work. It's a bit unreliable, but I don't mind having it. If it rolls a 2, it's still good. Pyre Jumpers for the final fight though. Infernos for the final fight. We don't care about generating gold anymore. We just want to get the waves out of the way so we can hit Seraph as often as possible. And Inferno helps us with that. Helps a lot. Yeah, this multi-strike Thug really generated a ton of value for us over the course of this game. We got so many kills off of him. Where's my Ashes of the Fallen? Firebox is pretty good though. I should take Firebox. That might really speed up our kill. No Ashes. Flicker's Liquor though. Yeah. Large Stone, no. Don't want it. Fury Stone, maybe. That speeds up the last stand. So this is about 14 attack. It's 14 attack from the start. And let's say we lose 2 rage by the time we get last stand. No! As soon as we get rage up, it basically stays because the rage decay happens anyways. So it's about... So as soon as we play a last stand, this is about 20, 30 attack. Which is decent with the books. That might actually be a good upgrade. It's also cheap. And it doesn't require me to reroll. These are pretty good reasonings for why I want this card. One-Horned Storm versus Last Stand. Which is the better dupe? Probably Last Stand. Because we will already have a bunch of multi-strike. So the One-Horned Storms are not that effective. They are much more effective if we have a ton of rage. While Last Stand gives us that extra rage we need. So we don't really care about the boss's attack anymore. Because we'll just finish them very early on in flight. Double Last Stand in the opening hand, but no rage. Well, we start with rage. We start with 10 rage. That's 40 rage on the first turn. Yeah, that should be good. This guy dies to the princess. Also, no frontliner here. That's interesting. Inferno happens. We double One-Horned Storm. They can't trigger. Yeah, I need to kill this guy, otherwise we take too much damage on the princess. That's 664 damage on turn 1 against the Seraph. That's pretty decent. That always happens. Can we get powerful enough to kill Seraph on this turn? No. No, we don't nearly have enough scaling. More Welder helpers. Can we make use of them? To a degree. Can ascend. Play a Welder helper. Ascend and play another Welder helper. That's actually pretty solid use. There not being any frontliners early on is very interesting. Now I think we should go for the kill. We have the final Last Stand, we have Ascend, we have multi-strike ready. We should get this kill this turn. We have 4 Ember to play around with. We can get one more with important work. That should just be enough, to be honest. Let's do this. Sacrifice you. Play another one of these. Double Inferno and then Ascend. Yeah, 8-turn boss rush. Pretty solid. That was a pretty sick deck. So the Shoutail Queen really helped a lot with this defining this run, because she was a lot of our Ember management, because she allowed us to play these imps at a reasonable cost, which would otherwise been hard with the Volatile Gorge. Obviously double stacked One-Horned Tomes with Volatile Gorge and 3 Last Stands, double cost reduced Ritual of Battles. That was an engine all on its own, but the Shoutail Queen still was very valuable, making the Welder Helper possible and generating these fledgling imps to block and generate rage was very nice. Yeah, interesting run. And we ended up with the top score, I believe. Yeah. A little bit above Disaster Morgan and Hinaway here. Let's take a look at those two decks just real quick. Just gonna check. Full on Imp Parade Queen. A Branded Warrior with Quick and Rage and another Branded Warrior with Multi-Strike and Health. Interesting. 2 Imp in a Boxers. They did pick up the other important work. Spike of the Stygian. Okay. So there was a Spike event. Crushing Demise, Stripfall. Pretty different deck, but obviously One-Horned Tome with Consume Remove here. And Last Stand also make an appearance here, as well as Rituals of Battle. Has to be expected. A lot less gold than our deck, but still an 8-turn boss rush. 5-turn against Fel. What did we have? 6-turn. And Talos was a 3-turn, yeah. They took quite a bit of extra damage on some of these middle fights. But yeah, still a very solid deck. And hidden away. Just a 6-turn boss rush, 5-turn against Fel. 2-turn boss rushes on these middle fights. But no damage taken on this Clipped Infiltration, pretty impressive. Also full on Imp Parade. Because they didn't have Endless Welder Helper. Yeah, if I didn't have that Endless Welder Helper, I would have gone full on Imp Parade as well and generated these fledgling imps. Although they were a bit harder to use, but with the Endless important work, Holdover important work, that should work just fine. Subsuming Blade, I can see that being useful. Even if just to kill your own imps and sometimes kill a backliner. And double stacked non-consuming One-Horned Tome. The 7 cost is funny to see. Oh, you had Votive Key. Okay, that's pretty juicy with the Shoutail Queen. Yeah, I like it. Very solid deck as well. Branded Warrior with Multi-Strike again. So, yeah, picking the Paraffin Thug over Branded Warrior or anything gave me such a huge gold advantage, because I gave him all the kills. Like literally every kill I did this run very few exceptions were done by the paraffin thugs, so we generated a massive amount of gold.